Hi, welcome back to Barely Gardening with me, Justin Bear. Hey, what I wanted to show you today is that I'm propagating this lavender here. And what I do is I find some shoots that are about the size of a pencil, and I just cut them. And I'll show you what I do. Take one here. These are a bit green. So I'll take a shoot like this, and I'll show you what I do with it. Hi, so on today's episode, what I'm going to talk about is taking a cutting from a lavender plant, something like this, cutting it down into something like this, and then just planting it in some sand and letting it root. It's called propagation, and I'll show you how it's done. So I'll take a 1 gallon container, add some playground sand. I'll put some playground sand in here. So the playground sand basically just kind of holds the stems in place while they start to grow their roots. So I'll do something like this. Just regular old playground sand. I'll get it wet, because you never want to try and root something in dry soil or dry sand or anything. You always want it to have some moisture content in it, so it doesn't shock the roots. I'll let that soak in. And then in the meantime, what I'll show you is that when I take a stem, something like this, see how there's a little node there, and a node there? I usually go up 3 or 4. On this one, I'm going to try and get 2 plants out of it. So what I'll do is I'll cut it at 3. 1, 2, 3, and I'll cut this top part off here too. On this one in particular, it's really soft. So I'm just going to cut that off there. And then what I do typically is I'll just start taking the leaves off. Like that. I'll take a couple layers of leaves off. Then for these long ones up top, what I'll do typically is I'll just cut them. I'll leave a little bit of greenery on the very tops of these. Something like that. Then I'll just stick it in the sand. Just like that. There's nothing to it. I'll take my next one that I've already done, and I'll just stick it in. And what you want to do is you want it to go below the node. Because on these little nodes here, this is where the roots typically will come out, is where the leaves were at. So they're about, I don't know, a good 10 inches, 10 to 12 inches long. And this is lavender. So while you're trimming up your lavender or shaping it, you can grab some extra pieces of it and plant them in the ground. Or plant them in some sand. So that's pretty much it. And what I'll do is I'll just finish up this. I'll probably plant a few more in there. And then what I do is I'll just put it in the shade, keep the sand moist, and check on it in a few weeks, and hopefully we'll have some roots. So then after a couple of weeks, you'll start to get some new shoots growing up. Not all of them made it on that round, but a few of them did. A few of them made it in this round as well. Alrighty, until next time, happy gardening.